What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 14 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Man-Eaters Mortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, an episode full of battles that also saw us debut the Ice Army or Winter Army, which was pretty darn fun. Love seeing those Yetis in action and those Thunder Tusks as well. We also saw the Ranged Army in action against the Challenge Stone, wherein we took our Ogre landmark away from Chaos. So it's in its rightful hands, it's where it belongs. And I'm excited to see more of this army as we continue doing stuff. In terms of what we gotta do this particular episode, yes, finally we will be able to do the BUGMAN'S quest. I've been kind of saving this, but at the same time it's just sort of gotten away from me in the sense that there's always something to do, isn't there? So that's what we're gonna try this episode. In terms of what we gotta do this turn, I actually don't think there's much of anything to do. You, Mr. Smashgooder, I think since we're about to declare war on the Orcs, you're going to start moving southward. I originally wanted him to attack this army of Tamar, but it looks like he's running away, and we're not just gonna chase him. That's silly. We might send an army up this way, but honestly, we've been fighting Chaos a lot too, so it's not a huge concern. Though if we get like if we get a bounty or a contract rather to kill off on from somebody who's close by, that's certainly an option to send Golgi to acquire his defeat trade. Anyway, Magic Feast to smash good, go here. Alright, and the idea is to push down towards Erog. We have, what, 4 turns until we are going to declare war on the Greenskins. And speaking of Greenskins, and I guess this area in general, I think it ended up kind of being a good decision to sort of semi-settle down here because of this. If we take a look at diplomacy for a second, okay, not this. Diplomacy for a second, and if we take a look at the strength rank, Clan Moors is strength rank 2 after us, Crooked Moon is strength rank 4, and Grimgor is strength rank 6, so a bunch of the strongest factions, in fact all 3, top 3, the strongest factions that we can currently see are within range of us. So might as well enjoying the strongest, the biggest threats on the game map, right? I do have to wonder who the others are, but we're starting to send scouts, get those feelers out there now to figure out who's doing what and where. Oh wow, Talea was corn corrupted. I wonder if Scarby is up there. Could be doing pretty well. I see some Cornate corruption down here as well. What about Zinchen corruption? Kairos usually does pretty well as well. He actually hasn't gone as far as I thought he would. He's still just... well, he's pushed up to the Temple Avenue of Gold. Maybe not so bad, so he's like right here. How's the Ghost of Pawash? And Sinhal Monolith has fallen, but Mount Adhull and Neverending Chasm, the Godless Crater, remain theirs. Lustria is, by the looks of it, firmly scavened up. Damn, looks like half of Lustria is owned by Clan Pestilence. That's interesting. Yeah, definitely want to send a Firebelly or somebody down there to scout it out. In fact, what would be the fast? Well, I actually don't want to find Kairos, because if we find Kairos, we have to teleport down there and kill him, because he'll do annoying things with his abilities. But if we go around him, it's the fastest way to send a Firebelly. You know what, this scout, you can go down there. I guess we could probably stand to get another Firebelly scout up and running and do the same thing. Firebelly. They're the ones that we actually have. No extra range, but whatever. They're the ones that we have actual capacity of that we don't have to worry about. And nothing here will allow you to move faster, so frankly, I'm just going to ignore that. Alright, that looks good to me. I do believe that's an end turn, unless I'm mistaken. Bolthug doesn't need to move, and I don't believe oh, actually Targog. Now, Alright, Targog, you are rapidly running out of meat, unfortunately. And oh, the starving thing probably ain't helping you all that much either. We could land in Shagrath, but once again, I'm kind of not into fighting Norskins anymore, considering how much we've been doing it. So let's grab a few islands at sea and maybe land right here somewhere, fight something else. I see Valkyries around. Approach this carcass. Close victory and several of our saber tusks will die. Well, that's a little bit of a shame, but we haven't had a chance to get this army in action. I guess it's one of those armies that's not going to physically be capable of auto-resolving due to the weakness of the saber tusks. But what are you gonna do? Let's debut them real quick with a quick cinematic battle, and we'll see about getting them some decent fights afterwards. Go.
Only cleaving, meat and death.
I haven't heard a lot of those butcher speeches yet, or slaughtermaster speeches yet, but you know, they're just big butchers. But anyway, yeah, haven't heard a lot of those yet, so we'll be able to see or hear them as we start playing around with this army. This is going to be its debut battle, just a small one, of course, but I promise I'll try to get a bigger battle specifically for this army in this particular episode. I'll sort of try to dedicate it to these guys. Anyway, here we go. We're going to start off by annoying the enemy as best we can. We got the Thunder Tusks and the Harpoon Chuckers chucking their harpoons as they do, and of course the regular Stonehorns as well. We're just gonna sit around and be menacing. Alright, obviously we're not expecting to do a crazy amount of damage to the enemy here, but at the very least the threatening enemy units like the Depth Guard will want to deal as much damage to them as possible. Plus I really enjoy watching those Thunder Tusks fire away. I like the animations of their projectiles. See another one. Once again, the ice and lightning is pretty neat. There you go, very, very nice. And the enemy approaches. Our saber tusks are waiting. What's our armor at, incidentally? It's at 39, which is pretty decent. We're getting there. And obviously these guys will get stronger. They are of no veterancy right now, only rank 2, so they should be able to rank up fairly considerably. Also, if I remember to, I don't know if I will by the end of this episode. My memory ain't so good no more, but if I remember to, I'm gonna put a poll down below. We are currently building the sort of all-hero army. And it's currently up where the cavalry army is, but we should probably send it a different way. We could send it up north into the Chaos Wastes, where Archaon is. We could send it... Oh, we could send it through Cathay. Could go east, send it through Cathay, take one of the sea lanes, and send the all-hero armies straight to Lustria. Now, that's a decent possibility. And then, of course, we could send it across the Darklands into the World's Edge Mountains to fight dwarfs or orcs or whatever is over there. I think it's mostly works right now, but anyway, I'll do that poll. I'll leave that poll there if I remember to do so. In the meantime, we charge on in. The saber tusks will follow the saber tusks. Well, I guess there are 2 of them. The saber tusks will follow the thunder tusk. Oh no, this is gonna get confusing. It's man-eaters and blood everythings from Skulltaker all over again. Anyway, the kitties are in, let's say that, and they've completely surrounded the enemy. The big boys are sort of jumping around. And the Slaughtermaster's just trying to get to somebody who he can whack away at. I still find it very strange that they have the sort of peg leg thing for every single Slaughtermaster and Butcher, and it's always the same leg. It's bizarre, but anyway. And by the looks of it, this battle is pretty much over. The Thunder Tusk and one of these Stonehorns is ganged up on the Rotting Leviathan, which did hit back fairly decently, having one of the Stonehorns lose about 30% of its HP, but ultimately not being enough. And with that, just that quick little fight is ours. We'll see plenty more of them, hopefully this episode. Alright, nice little fight. Obviously a little bit of damage on our saber tusks, but they're fairly fragile. Decent bit of damage on one of the Stonehorns as well, however, as, well, you can't be taking volleys or too many volleys from hand cannons, or probably even gunnery mobs either, so definitely have to be careful there. That That said, this army is really waiting for the level 12s on the hunters to power said army up, so definitely gonna be needed. And I think if we inevitably lose a couple of the Sabertusk, maybe we'll replace like 2 of them with Blood Vultures just for variety's sake. Anyway, we're gonna heal up a teensy bit because the other rewards are negligible. And then I guess keep going this way. Okay, another spotter. Why do I keep getting these? Probably do your items once we have items to spare. But for now, Mr. Magic Feaster Targog, you can move here. We could land and attack Valkia. She is currently... Oh, who? She has... Oh, only the Hmong are her vassals. She's trading with the Aghole. Alright. There's also potential for taking a bounty here, but we'll be busy with Grimgore for a little bit, but not necessarily with Golgi, so we'll see. Anyway, I believe that's the only thing that we had to do, or the only army that had to actually move this time, so let's skip unassigned skill points, buildings, heroes, damaged buildings, bounties. How can I have Damon? Somewhere out here, Ernest Posner. Possible if we take a right clan contract next, and we do want to go down to Scraggy Town. And that's not a euphemism. And where is it? And turn. Alright. Trade gained, muster for Death Cheater Zog. Good for you, Death Cheater Zog. He's currently constructing the crushers that Goldtooth is missing. Also thinking maybe we will temporarily peace out with the Crooked Moon so that we can send Goldtooth back around to kill off help kill off Grimgore quickly. Rather than fighting them at the same time with only essentially one army, because we have a lot of territory that we wouldn't be able to protect. And Draj is back, though I'd wager not for long. Musterer, good. Undercity discovered in Mount Greyhag. I don't see why we'd care. Wounded Scout. Oh, okay, it was just this guy. Okay. I got concerned there. Really? Level 7, wounded a level 15 Firebelly. Okay, but at least that wasn't the one out at sea, which has already covered some distance. Ready for duty somebody. Oh, Tech Eater. Tech Eater's back, good. Recruiter Gut Rubber is back as well, and Butcher's Apron, heading to more butchers. The more butcher capacity we have, the more tech thievery we can do, and the more techs we have, etc, etc, etc. Alright, now... Oh, is Wolfric back? He is not, but Surtha Ek is defending the Palace of Princes with a full oh my. That's a concerning number of skin wolves. Huh. And he's got the Great Mahart of Blood Fjord as well. Oh wow, that might actually be a fairly tough fight for Brawler Guts, Mr. Paychest Gold Eater there. Yeah, this is a heck of a mouthful. Just Paychest. Anyway, Golgi, we wanted you to head to City of Shugungan. Frankly, the iron here is probably more valuable. It's not like we really care so much about Wei Jin. It's, well, Eastern Bazaar. I'll think about it. How much is this place worth? Probably a lot more. What's the best way to do this? I'm just thinking that we should probably try to get the iron here. That's the thing. Maybe if we go this way, through Pomei, grab Mingzhu, and then maybe move to Wangchang? I don't know. We'll see. We're not in range of anything anyway. Alright, Golgi, you sit there and... Oh. I should have taken you out of the stand so we could fight. I will do it next turn. It's all good. Brawler Guts, you are about to fight. I think I immediately forgot about the quest. Ooh, it's not Valkia. We got a full stack here. We got Chaos Warriors and Nagrar. Oh, this is sorely tempting. It's just that we don't have an actual... Slaver's Point is occupied by nobody. Oh, these guys only have 3 territories as well. Yeah, Nagrath ain't doing so good. I would like to establish a port here, though. You know, go to Slaver's Point, at least close the distance with it. I'd like to see what's going on here. A lot of potential stuff to fight. I see a lot of battle markers and ooh, yes. Oh, the Wood Elves are here as well. Well, we were going to eat the Wood Elves as well, and they've got 8 territories, which ain't too bad. Certainly a faction we haven't fought yet, so that might be nice for the Winter Army. You know, bring winter to Athaloran, or, well, the Athaloran away from Athaloran. The Witchwood. Greasus. You are going to just kill off these guys, and you're gonna occupy this. Wait, where's Mount Silver Spear? Is that this one all the way back here? Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, take this, knock out Drajuath. Would have been actually nice to pick up his defeat trade in another lord, but I didn't remember when he was coming back. Blichbone Pennant, let's pop it on the Hunter, I guess, for now. Not so sure that you're gonna keep it, but anyway, well, poor Drash with those little defenses. Ain't they cute? Alright, and then we will occupy this. Like so, and his faction will be destroyed. And, oh, wait, Greases didn't get this, Golgi got this. Meaning, yes, that was a good find. A good pickup. Cave Painter, big name unlocked, faction destroyed, and now we can burn down the Undercity. Oh, lovely. We will also immediately upgrade, I guess, Crookback Mountain. I'm just gonna hope it doesn't immediately fall, because we certainly want that iron. If we can find like 10 more of these, get another 50 armor on all our forces, that would be pretty incredible. And just straight up get, I don't know, 80 armor on Saber Tusks. That would be just swell. Anyway, Crooked Moon. Oh, the strength rank 2 now. A bit of a switcheroony with the Clan Moors Skaven. Anyway, we're just going to peace out with you for now. We can always retake a contract, but I don't want to fight them at the same time as Grimgor, who has a lot of armies running around as well. Oh, damn, I should have moved this Tech Thief first. Alright, I guess we're gonna loop around to Tower of Gorgoth. Mothinka, go here. Scout this, I guess. That means not taking the tech right now, but whatever. Alright. Moskala, Tech Thief, all of you go down there. Okay, let's quickly do all the Tech Thieves right now, because I'm gonna forget, and then we're gonna do what we just did, where we take stuff that we shouldn't. Lab Belly, go. Failure. Lab Belly, come on, man. Alright, we also need to keep essentially scouting Grimgor, so these guys are kind of serving that purpose. Wow, lots of failures this turn. Come on, guys. Somebody's gonna get bloodned. Alright, at least you got our back, Tech Glutton. And is that everybody, or is that Crud the Great Guffer? I don't know who you are. Oh, right, these guys. Okay, wait. Bullthug go here, Crud go here, Bragg go here. Okay, got one Fire Belly, though I probably should have just waited until the Fire Mouth is up and running. You're another Bruiser, and okay, we gotta do the recruitment as well while we're at it. Alright, so we have the Crushers as our main line. We still need our Mage, as well as the Mournfangs. We should have Crushers, great weapons, Mournfangs, great weapons. Let's get Mournfangs with Iron Fists, and some regular Mournfangs. Who are really cheap, but you know, it's just for variety / fun. 18 out of 20. 18 out of 20 because of the mage. 19 out of 20 would be because of the Regiment of Renown of Crushers, and then we'll have room for one more, which I guess, to keep it even, should just be another Iron Blaster. There we go. They can run alongside us, or hopefully fire over us and not kill us all off. Anyway, Skruck Eyeballer, you're coming here, and for Drag, you might as well enter this army, because they're just gonna swap. And while we're checking heroes, we should check heroes. This is, if you're wondering why this, it's the hero army, the start of the hero army. Just gotta keep getting good stuff. Ooh, Firebelly with tough, that's nice. Flabby, nice Bruiser as well, very nice Bruiser in fact. Let's get you up and running, sir. What else do we have? Hunters, we have none of. We have a Flabby Butcher. I would like a bunch of Butchers. Hey, we got more Butcher capacity, that's nice. Big Daddy, Maw Preacher, I'd like 4 disciplined Butchers in the all-hero army, so that they can we get Butchers here? Yes. So that they can anybody move faster? Or further, rather? That doesn't look like it. What was I saying? Oh, so that we have access to all the lores in the hero army. Can't keep a thought. Specialist, Steel Tech, Befouler, Foe Seeker, Servant of the Maw, Emissary, and I think that's it, right? Let's go with Wound. And Hinder Replenishment. And I guess we're starting at rank 16 now, so you quickly get pretty much all the stuff that you need to get. Yeah. I guess we should get another one up and running while we have the capacity. We could get one. Can we get one here? As we can. Let's do you, or one of you, so that these guys get milled. Let's say you. Alright, and you can be Tech Thief as well. The ones that I don't have extra names for, I'm just naming Tech Thieves. Specialist, Valor, I gotta do it this turn, which is why I'm doing it now instead of between the episodes, which is what I would normally do. Oh, damn, I did 3 hinder replenishment and whatever. Okay, I'm not redoing that. Can take too long. Alright, good enough, good enough. Pay chest, you're still about to fight. In fact, you know what? That was a lot of heroing, so you're gonna fight as soon as we're done with the tech thieves. Aha, tech eater. You have returned. You need to get somewhere where you can actually steal tech. And lab fat. You're gonna probably get assassinated, but let's send you up to Arcan. Yeah, he's booking it on out of there. Chase Tamar down, but go to the plains of Zanbaijin and then steal tech from there. Plus, it'll keep an eye on Arcan if he's moving southward. All right, I think that was the last tech thief. Yes, no more tech thievery to do. It was necessary, guys. It was very necessary. All right, no more tech thievery, which means let's see how the poor little nobblers are able to take on the massive pile of skin wolves. Kind of an unexpected development. Still can't do a camp, though. It would be nice here, but... Oh, we can also pack up a couple of camps this turn, which will be nice. Alrighty, this, it'll be a field battle, too. So those skin wolves will be able to surround us. Interesting, go.
Get over there and turn them to mince. Then we can have a nice dinner.
Alright, here we go. And Paychest and his Nobbler hordes are at it yet again. I know, I keep putting these guys into these dangerous situations, completely necessarily, I assure you. I mean, it's not as bad as how I kept screwing Norvegicust, the Censor Bearer, over in the Archaon campaign and just constantly giving him trials of the gods at every single opportunity and making life difficult for him. Yeah, Paychest is still in a very dangerous situation constantly, especially considering his army is our weakest. Anyway, we're going to start off with positioning ourselves, but in the meantime bombarding the enemy army with our scrap launchers, trying to do as much damage to the tight formation marauders as possible, i.e. not the hunters or the berserkers, just the ones that are reasonably likely to take, well, reasonable damage from us. There is, of course, also a unit of marauder champions here, and they've got to be a priority target because, well, let's face it, marauder champions versus nobblers isn't a particularly great matchup for us. And these are tier 1 after all, though their stats are pretty solid now. Look at that. We got 34 armor, 56, 55 melee attack and defense. Gotta get that armor up, and they'll be pretty solid. I mean, it's almost like SFO level kind of stats on basic units here, which is pretty neat. I'm just remembering last time I played Greenskins with Grimgore, and one of the most killy units, or at least in a couple of armies, happened to be Forest Goblins, which are also super basic in Tier 1, but they were out killing orcs and out killing lots and lots of stuff, because they had lots of stats upgrades and they had that poison on them. They were doing very well. Anyway, we'll see how the Nobblers fare, because this is going to be a very, very dangerous fight. There are just so darn many skin wolves on the field. They're gonna run all around us, and we have to deploy in a specific manner in order to combat this. Obviously, because the nobblers are super fragile, we can't sort of spread our lines out as we normally might. There's a little impassable bit here, this little I don't know, Stonehenge totem thing that they've got going on here, the Norscan totems, and it is an impassable terrain, which means we're going to use it to anchor our left flank, and the enemies will hopefully be forced around it. We will otherwise just sort of sit blobbed up like this and have to defend ourselves because we have no choice, as we just don't have the numbers. Not great to be the ones outnumbered. Also dropping a few frames here and there, unfortunately. It might be because this is our army with the most sort of individual little units or individual models. Plus there's a lot of enemies running around as well, so I do apologize for the frame drops here and there. My PC can't handle it sometimes. I mean, for those of you who've been watching for a while, you'll probably be familiar with my PC hiccuping when it's when playing against the Skaven. I'm saving for an upgrade, trust me. Eventually, someday, some way. Anyway, let's see how the enemy are closing in. Looks like Surtha Ek on... Huh? Wait, Surtha Ek on a horse? What is this? This is this travesty, this blasphemy. Why is the Ever Chariot on a horse? And also, why is he just sitting there taking daggers to the face? But, doesn't Surtha Ek automatically start with a chariot? Or is that an SFO thing? I thought that was added in vanilla. Like, I thought that he was stuck on a chariot. Weird. Well, anyway, here he comes, and there he goes pretty quickly, I'm sure, as the Giants move in to whack away at him. We've also got the units of the Fire Bellies up front. I've been really enjoying these guys, especially with their Eruption and Flame Incarnate abilities, both the damage reflection and the explosions that they're able to do. It's been quite helpful. Though we definitely have to be careful as the Maw Herd of Bloodfjord moves in together with all those Skinwolves and Marauders. And here we go, completely surrounded now. We're just going to have our little Nobblers defend under assault from every side, and wherever the enemy sends a single entity or a pile of Skinwolves, that's where we'll have our Giants meet them. As the Giants should be pretty solid at knocking out a Skinwolf here and there with every blow with those big old clubs of theirs. Skinwolf's unfortunately too big for them to do that infantry animation where they sort of pick up a little infantry unit, but I mean, I feel like they should be able to. Anyway, it looks like with the Fire Belly and the Giants managed to knock down a mammoth or two from the Maw Herd, and will even send them packing as they run away. Unfortunately, because the enemy outnumber us so heavily, we are not able to, as an eruption from the Fire Belly, we are not able to give chase to them, and we essentially have to stay where we are. At least until the enemy army shatters. So, just keep on fighting. Here's Mr. Paychest. For every Norscan that dies, there you can loot them and then eat that gold, buddy. Alright, the balance of power is at about 70% in our favor. Not completely ours yet, but the battle's certainly starting to turn. This is, I believe, the third Burning Head that we've cast. The Fire Bellies are having a pretty fun time with it. And it does look like the problem with the Skinwolves is that they will run in and then they will rout and rally, and because of their regeneration, they'll come back with decent HP. So we've had to deal with them a few times already. Alright, nice kick from the Fire Belly. There's that other eruption clearing the way. Just soot and bloodied corpses around. Can't wait to have a few of these guys in our hero army. And remember to put that pole down below. Oh, we'll see. Alright, and it looks like the Pigback Riders do manage to hold the enemy off, and with that, the battle is ours. I didn't time exactly how long it took it took from, well, you know, actual engagement start, but it was a pretty decently lengthy battle for the Nobblers to hold ground, considering their complete lack of armor. The Man-Biters here got the worst of it. They got heavily damaged as they were holding essentially this location where they got hit by all of these Skinwolves before the Giants dealt with them. Then, of course, once the Man-Biters held them off for a while, we backed them into the center of our formation and then replaced them with, I think it was the Regiment of Renown, the Piggyback Knights, to help hold the ground instead. And then rotating them like that allowed us to keep them alive in the center, while the rest of us held the ground. We can see all the corpses of the enemies around where we were able to hold. Fun little fight. Like a little mini defensive siege thing. Alright, there we go. Always a little bit weird when it's your Nobbler force that gets outnumbered by enemies, in fact by twice as many enemies, but well, that's just the sort of deep end that we threw them into. I'm just going to assume that they're enjoying it. And they're all doing well. Let's see, out of the named units, 211 and 212, Knights of the Realm and Gore-Tech Chosen are tied nearly in kills, though by a mile. At 17k damage, the Knights of the Realm dish it out. As for the Trappers, it looks like the Tendon Takers take so many tendons this day. Giants did decently well, but obviously they're not going to get the same kind of kill numbers numbers or damage numbers, as they were a little bit busy fending off those skin wolves and whacking them around. Anyway, we are going to... I mean, I guess we'll temporarily occupy this place. We're going to raise it most likely shortly or abandon it, but for now it'll allow us to heal before we advance and destroy the last bastion of these. Oh! Blood Mountain has iron. Oh, actually we'll want to keep that for ourselves. Go figure. I can trade this to maybe Sigvald. Maybe he'll like us enough not to attack the place. But anything for iron. Anyway, Courageous, Nobbler Inventor, another halfling cookbook, always nice to have, especially since we'll have more butchers on field soon. You are now, I believe, good. In the sense that we can't move you again. Next up, a Magic Feast of Smash Gouda. You are trying to... Oh, there was an army here, but it is no longer here. Grimgor is likely waiting to attack us, and there it is, a Rog. Alright, you're gonna shadow a Rog's army. We'll need Greasy to shadow Morgulus, though I guess the issue there is that we still have to deal with Tretch's faction, and... that's going to be a slight problem for us. Maybe somebody will give us a contract to attack Grimgor. That would be just fantastic. Come on, Zatan. We'll take a contract with you. I wonder if there's like a certain amount of hatred a faction can have for you, which would prevent them from even giving you a contract, but I'm not sure. Anyway, Magic Feast to Targog. I'm somewhat tempted to attack these guys. Though I do wonder, if we attack here, if we land here, what is waiting over on this side? Oh wow, right. You guys can actually trade. They're actually not that unfriendly, but I'm willing to bet that their trading probably won't be as good as the Empire and the other factions. And the thing is, we essentially have to pick and choose because the massive aversion means that as soon as they meet, they'll just hate each other. Don't get me wrong, I'd love the idea of playing both sides here, it's just I'm not so sure that it's super possible. Interestingly enough, Legion of the Gore Queen has a lot of trade goods available. Nagaroth is... Oh, you know what? I was just thinking that we are hankering for some trading partners, but we can get the Elves of Ulthuan to do it. Especially since we're destroying Ulthuan in Skulltaker campaign, we don't necessarily need to do it here. We can find other elves to destroy should we desire to do so. And we don't like Temperate Islands. It's one of our yellow territories, whereas this is all frozen wasteland or frozen whatever, and it's all green and takeable. Which means I think these guys are going to go again. Ooh, you've reached rank 12. Oh, perfect. We really needed that for this. Let's just do this. There we go. Frenzy on the Sabertusks, and our first Sabertusk summoning. I think in this particular army, while Great Beast Hunter kind of makes sense from a lore perspective, I think we're going to go Gutsy maybe to power them up on the Stonehorns. Be able to take a little bit more damage, get a little bit more mass going. Let's get the Vanguard deployment as well. And it doesn't really need sneaky stalker in this army, I feel. On the other hand, we've been giving them the range stuff so that they do more range damage, so we could bump it up a little bit. On the other hand, the range damage is so lackluster, it probably doesn't really matter. Now I'm just gonna go Gutsy. And this was the other guy, okay, but whatever. Pop you Vanguard deployment, and let's see, if we do 3 points in Sharpen Outs, you know what, let's do Lucky Nobblers or Sword Nobblers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, so we can have 3 points remaining. Same with you, 1, and did I do Gutsy on the other guy? Yes. Did I do Gutsy on this guy? No. Come on, Ruinous, what are you doing? 5% physical resistance. And Gutsy, and 5% physical resistance, and Independent Mind, and then save the rest of the points for Savage Predators. More bonuses versus large for those Sabertusks, and we should have another Hunter on the way. That's you, Grog. You're supposed to join these guys. And, oh, you started rank 15. Well, that's just lovely for you. Maybe I should have waited to get all those hunters recruited, since we can now recruit them at higher ranks, thanks to all those camps that we've been investing in so much. Let's go Lucky Nobblers, Sword Nobblers, and then into... And funnily enough, we'd probably get more mileage out of Lookout Nobblers than Sharpened Spears, so let's do that first. Questions later. Alright, unfortunately you're reasonably close to this army. You, sir. What anything here? I mean, ward save and melee defense is nice, but I'm still inclined to say the casualty replenishment rate is too good not to have, so that's what we're gonna get. And we will now probably want to start popping points into either... Well, we still probably want Dinner Bell and all this stuff, but... Poison attacks could be nice here, but yeah, we really need the upgrades for our Saber Tusks. What does it do for them, though? Oh, 12 armor for them. Ooh, that's really good. In fact, we'll keep the casualty replenishment rate, but that's really good. Get these guys heavily armored ASAP. Heavily armored Saber Tusks. Anyway, Magic Feaster, we're going to declare war on you. We'll ask Nagaroth for now, but they're also in green territory, so there's potential for having a join war against Valkia. I mean, we could let them have this. I'm just not so sure that I want to. I'll think about it. Yes, join war against Valkia. Technically, Valkia can trade, but we got other trading partners. So let's move here. And let's try this, and let's hope that there isn't a full Valkia stack like right there. Oh, you're out of range. How dare you? And you're gonna suffer attrition because of it. Well, that ain't great. Hopefully I didn't get that army killed just now, but we'll see. If it happens, it happens. You got a risky to get the bisky, and let's see. Crud the Great Guffer. I keep forgetting who you are. Oh, right, this guy, okay. How many more turns? We got 3 turns. And there's a decent likelihood that Grimgor will declare war on us himself, so we gotta pay attention to that. We got a little bit of money for building, so I guess we still want to do that. And we also have to keep an eye on new tyrants, because we'll want a tyrant to lead the Lord or the single entity army, the hero army. I would like to get a new deboner tyrant. We've been keeping Drunkbat around, who has deboner, but he's level 3, and it's not great. On the other hand, I suppose you don't really need a red line or anything to get a bunch of heroes, although the blue line would help. Anyway, let's do a little building, and then let's go to next turn, and then hopefully fight that battle against the Cornates. Okay, start with the money, as we always do. Because we still need money, pretty clearly. Alright, looks good to me, It's called a Delta. Money, good. And we're building a Hunter thing here. Hunter, Bruiser. In Norse Scout. Darkhold, yes to the money, and yeah, we'll upgrade you. And here, I guess we're also doing Bruiser and Hunter, so let's do Bruiser first. Nice. Bone Road, no money. No money. Nordland, yes money. I don't know why I bothered keeping that, just whatever. Cold Myers, we're probably gonna abandon it, so we'll ignore you, and then Forbidden Citadel. Yes to the money, but definitely yes to the iron. And I'm gonna say, let's do a larder here. More butchers. On the other hand, we need more bruisers. And Norska's been all bruisers. Yeah, let's do bruisers. Alright, actually, speaking of butchers, what's our capacity for them again? Do we get more on the field now? Wait. No, okay. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Alright, skip, and turn. Alright, please don't take Wang Cheng. We really want that iron. Okay, no, she's gonna go for Terracotta Graveyard, which is fine. Alethanar wants a trade. I'm not so sure we're going to do that right now, because I'm not so sure that we're gonna keep him alive. Alright, Reichland, Golden Order, where is Valkia? That's gonna be a moment of truth type deal. I guess to some degree this game. And they will attack us themselves. Okay, that's fine, depending on how well we can catch them. They do have Sword of Corn or Blade of Corn available to them. A few fairly heavily armored units. Ooh, Wrathmonger's in here as well. Should be an interesting fight. Go.
The Moor has blessed us with fresh meat. Let our cleavers show our gratitude.
Alrighty, here we go. I did promise a battle with this army for a proper debut, or second debut after all, and well, this is what it is. We'll see how well we do here. The enemy does outnumber us, so we do have to be wary of that. Though, to be fair, they do have a fair amount of Furies and Warhounds, and let's face it, I would say the Saber Tusks are going to be superior to those. Looks like the Furies will, for some reason, land upon the Thunder Tusks and the Stonehorns. I guess the AI thinks that because they're ranged units, they should commit the Furies to tying them up. And this seems like a poorly thought out plan on the part of the AI, especially with our Saber Tusks all close by, ready to charge in and obliterate those Furies like so. The other two are going to get chased, but we're going to back off a little bit, as we would like to essentially draw the enemy army, closer to the edge of the map. Unfortunately, since they were waiting for reinforcements here, and they are deployed rather close to the edge, and we'd like to lead them away so that we can chase them down, should we manage to pull this off. And I do imagine that even if all of our Saber Tusks do die here, we have enough big old monsters to deal with the enemy. Especially since Khorne lacks those range units that they would normally use to focus them down, and they just don't have enough anti-large in this particular army to deal with them. Though I'm sure they will be able to dish out plenty of damage to them, and especially as they're going to have to be taking damage for pretty much the entire army. Anyway, it looks like the enemy lord continues to chase us around on that Gore-Beast chariot, but I'm not sure that a Thunder Tusk and a Stonehorn is something that you want to be fighting in melee, buddy. He drops down a half HP, but it does allow the rest of his army to close even as we were backing up. And we gotta get those Stonehorns and that Thunder Tusk holding the ground, anchoring the line. The enemies will blob up around them, and then we will hit them from every direction with Saber Tusks as best we can. And we'll see how they do here. Alright, lovely that they no longer have their rampage. In the early game, obviously, when we were using our Saber Tusks, the Rampage just makes them freaking useless. But fortunately, since we've teched to it, they are a lot more viable as a unit to help us out. Anyway, the big old blob of Stonehorns and the Thunder Tusks continue to hold the line, and any enemy units that escape or are destroyed, we are able to chase down with the Saber Tusks. Though obviously half of the Saber Tusks are in combat as well, not simply chasing things down. And once again, if we lose a couple of Saber Tusks, we can replace them with Vultures. And granted, the Vultures will be worse. It's just, just for variety. All right, look at all those Chaos Spawn and Forsaken drop, making me a little bit jealous. Just got that army started up in the Skulltaker campaign at the same time. Can't wait to enjoy them myself. Hopefully, this doesn't happen to them. Anyway, looks like the enemy army is in very bad shape now. And in fact, the reinforcements took too long to get here. I guess the Marauders and the Chaos Warriors, probably more so the Chaos Warriors and the Marauders, were a little bit too slow to reach our lines. And that means the reinforcements will shatter as the first army was destroyed before they got here. Of course, the Chaos Spawn will fight to the end. Ogre lords and heroes, they have a tendency to sort of jump in like that and just big old miss whatever they were thinking about attacking, don't they? Definitely not the first time I've seen that, and definitely won't be the last. Anyway, good job to the Hunters and the Butcher there, and good job to the Saber Tusks. Now it's up to you to chase everything down. Though several of our Saber Tusks did take maybe, well, not quite severe damage, but certainly did take damage fighting, and as we can see, some of our Stonehorns were damaged as well, despite their massive HP. We don't have Troll Guts available on our Slaughtermaster yet, so we don't have healing for our units, which is why our Stonehorns were dropping. And of course we need mana as well, but we really need to get Troll Guts to be able to heal the single entities. It is really, really needed. Alright, well, this army is going to be pretty fantastic at chasing. We got those Saber Tusks, we got that Chilling Aura and Frostbite on the Thunder Tusks, but we can do that off screen. Alright, there we go. Can't guarantee that this army will win every fight that it gets into, but we can guarantee that when it does win, it pretty much obliterates anything that attempts to escape from it, as the Saber Tusks and the Thunder Tusks in combination are very solid at chasing. Healing is very minimal here, but I think we gotta... oh. Well, no, you got meat now. Yeah, we're gonna take the healing, because who knows? Who knows what's nearby, let's not risk it. Scheme of Doom performed for the Skaven. Various Skaven AI like to use that scheme at the same time. I assume the schemes are free for the AIs, which is why it happens like that. Recruiter Galok is back, and there we go. Alright, now what do we have here? So Haka of the Kvelig ran away. We're going to... could actually chase said... we chase you down. This is preoccupy, right? Yeah. But we won't heal if we do it like that, that's the problem. I still think we're probably better off healing with this particular army, so just occupied, regular occupied, not necessarily looting it. And don't collect the income for now, at least for a little bit. Now, we got the rest of the level 12s, which means more power-ups on our units. Yes, and the ability to summon more as well. Very much needed here, let's face it, and that's 3 more Saber Tusks, and then we'll have a 4th as soon as the last hunter arrives and completes the army. You're gonna grab the Lookout Nobblers for that missile resistance, as I think it's pretty critical for you guys. And you... and by staying in Nagrar, we'll get this, we'll get the last hunter in sooner. Also, and we really need healing, but we also really need the armor for the fragile units. Beasts of the Mountains, we'll start with you. Oh, and it's all the units. Basically, armor for all of them. Definitely missing those massive levels that that Skulltaker can confer, but all good. And Stiggy, yeah, you hanging around here, huh, buddy? Kind of making the Nobblers nervous. But oh well, to Blood Mountain they shall go, where it looks like Wolfric will not be coming back. Ooh, but if we auto-resolve, will Sigvald suddenly attack us? That's a question. Do we risk it? I want to double check what's in his army. If it's nothing crazy, we can still auto-resolve. That's nothing crazy. The Aspiring Champions and Siggy himself would be the main issues, but with the amount of giants we have, it should be okay. Yeah, we're okay. And we will occupy the place because we want that iron, and indeed we keep the iron. Lovely. Don't bother collecting income here as well. We will keep Blood Mountain, World Walkers destroyed, and Palace of Princes. How much is it worth to you, out of curiosity? 10. I could get trade going with him. And a 5,000 gold. It's not bad. It's just the fact that all the other factions that we're friendly with will be like, how dare you trade with Chaos? Which ain't great. No diplomatic contact between them as yet because they're busy with Sylvania, but by the looks of it, they're not going to be busy with Sylvania for too much longer. Hold off on the Palace of Princes. I will think about it. Or possibly forget about it. One of the two. Hey, there's Valkia. Looks like she's about to attack these guys. Yeah, there's no need to keep them around. They're so weak already. Let's land at Slaver's Point and occupy it for ourselves. And if Valkia should take Shrine of Ladriel, well, we'll take it for ourselves right after. Slaver's Point, we will immediately upgrade you. Start some good old-fashioned mawing over here. And there should be a camp that has now finished its upgrades. Is it you, Malgut? No, but you could pack up in... a few turns. Do want that Lord and Hero recruit rank for all provinces, though. Moobs? Ah, yes, it's Moobs. The legend. Let us get an upgrade, and I guess we're gonna go Devour Challengers and Moobs. It's time to pack up, buddy. You'll be back. He'll be back shortly. Alright, and we're gonna send them up there. Greasy will also need one of these, though he does want to return to Grimgor. And ooh, okay, wait. We gotta do Tech Thievery again, because I'm gonna forget again, and I will be mad at myself, but nonetheless, you guys probably won't care as much, but anyway. Go to Black Iron Mine and scout it out so that you can keep on doing what you're doing. Can you... You can't reach it. You can, though. Scout, and... go. Alright, spread the butchers. The butchers must travel across the land and, well, do what they do. Well, steal tech in this particular case, but, well, they can butcher things while they're stealing tech. You gotta learn to multitask, people. Alright, scouting. Scouting. You're going down to find the High Elves, because we're gonna trade with them. And then we'll probably kill off a bunch of lizards because we can... I mean, technically we could trade with the lizards as well, but I kind of want to fight some lizards. We can sort of fight some of the ones, for example, in Lustria and keep Krogar or something. We'll see. Not like there's a dearth of factions we can fight. We can pick and choose, essentially. Anyway, you settle down here. Ah, Grimgor's back. Will he be given the fight to Magic Feast to smash Gooda? That's the question. Do we put you in raiding stats? Kind of a little bit concerned about the potential... wait. Consumes movement range. Wait, does raiding stats not give you the tired vigor anymore? Vigor in battle tired? No. Okay, well then. Then we don't care. You stay right there, buddy. Let's see if Grimgor gets annoyed and attempts to attack you, but if he doesn't, you can attack him as soon as we're ready. You guys have the Savage Predators, just had to make sure that they had what is important. And let's get you your Lookout Nobblers as well, so that when you level up, you can immediately have that missile resistance. What about you? You have Tools of Destruction. We're still looking towards scrappy fighters. We could put up a couple more points in Flock of Doom and stuff. We do have the mana to cast it should we need it. Emissary of the Maw isn't useful. Or we go into Rally, and yeah, you know what? These guys are all going to be rank 7 fairly shortly, so let's get Continuous Volley. And is that all the range units? Except for the Saber Tusks, I'd wager, which are buffed by trained beasts. But frankly, it's kind of a meh buff. It offers no armor, no defenses, no missile resistance. None of the stuff that the monsters need, essentially. So I don't care about it nearly as much. All right, you're safe. Safe-ish. Greasy Boy, you're gonna move up to Mount Silver Spear via this stance. Like so. And, oh, I should have leveled this up before Greasy left because he reduces construction costs, and frankly, I should have jumped to our own territory so that he could keep healed. No, I lied. He doesn't need to keep healing. Alright, he's good. Oh. There's probably more tech thieves to be tech thieving. Alright, tech thieves. Always more tech thieves. Go down here. We're certainly going to be annoying Clan Moors, but since they're such a strong faction, we gotta fight them. And then we're probably going to take the Servants of the Conclave as well. Honestly, there's a lot of factions here that once again, I really would have liked green skin units because they work well with our units, both aesthetically and linguistically and just generally. But because we have no access to outposts, we have no way to do it, which is, once again, it's quite a shame. I think it's a mistake. I think this is, if any faction should have a access to outposts, it's probably the mercenary faction game. And I will die on that hill, people. Anyway, keep stealing tech. Oh, there's more oh, Lab Belly, come on, man. This is not the time for that. At least we got more butchers out and about because, well, they'll be dying periodically. And this is with the, like, plus 20% success chance that we've given them all. 1 second. 0% out, because this probably has guard or whatever it is. Yeah. Gotta remember to periodically switch out. Okay, go down to Ice Spear then, or down to Gorge or Rog, it doesn't really matter. Alright, was that the last one? And this is why I do these between the episodes, because there are a lot of them. Ooh, Death Cheater Zuck. May not be needing to cheat death as of yet. Let's give you... Wait, not Ravening Horde. Let's give you All-Consuming Stomachs for your movement range. And you gotta get these Crushers with great weapons to grease us. I originally thought that we'd be giving him Crushers with Iron Fists. But I figured Greasy likes the big weapons. He likes it big. The Great Swords on the Iron Guts, the cannons on the various lead belchers, and now the great weapon Crushers as well. The biggest, the baddest, the fattest, etc. Anyway, I think now, finally, at last, I have remembered to do a thing. And the thing that I have remembered to do is actually do this quest. So, Golgi. Let's give this a read at last. Golgi agreed to sell his company's services to the orc war boss Nashrak, interested in the gastronomic merits of having free access to ready-to-eat goblins. Huh, interesting that they'd want ready-to-eat goblins, but don't really care for eating nobblers. because they're totally not the same thing. Anyway, however, in doing so, he didn't expect the multiple grueling battles they'd have to endure against the dwarfs of Karak-Kadrin. Twice, Golgi and his greenskin employers escaped the wrath of the stunted ones until a third decisive battle loomed on the horizon. But Golgi and Nashrak's alliance was already on shaky ground by that point. The ogres kept drinking ale and eating goblins, while the orc warboss's resentment grew in seeing his supplies of booze and fodder gradually dwindle to nothing. As the dwarf army closes in for the final showdown, Nashrak has to entice the ogres to fight once again, perhaps for the last time. Alrighty. Sounds fun to me. Let's see what we got here. And okay, I don't like how my PC lagged there for a second. I'm gonna quick save just in case it crashes because we've been, recording for a while now. And I'm going to assume that it will be Ungrim Iron Fist that reinforces. At least I hope so, since we're fighting Karak-Kadrin, and I would really like his defeat rate. So go. To the annoyance of their orc employer Nashrak, Golgi and his mercenary crew had been slyly snacking on the greenskins' ranks of goblins for quite some time now. Nashrak's patience has waned, though he still requires Golgi to march with him against the dwarfs of Karak-Kadrin. No longer able to ignore the insolent gluttony of Golgi and his ogres, Nashrak plans to be their final job for him, and it may not end amicably.
Well, how's about this? Nashrak sorted us a good payday, yeah? Just try not to snack on too many goblins on the job. Not that we've ever done that, of course. Right, we get up there, smash some dwarves and get paid. But be sure to watch your backs.
Alrighty, here we go now. The speech and the quest sort of text hinting that this may not end amicably is a little bit concerning. I wonder if this means that once we defeat the enemy host, that the orc army will turn upon us. In that case, or just in case that does happen, we're going to allow the orc horde to close with the enemy first and keep our own units behind. I'll let them take the damage. Anyway, we use the Eshin Maneater to clear the way for Golgi, as the Eshin Maneater uses that explosion ability to knock all those dwarf warriors aside, while Golgi heads directly for the enemy lord. A couple swings here and there, and the enemy lord is very, and I mean very quickly brought down. Maybe not quite as fast as Skull Taker, but perhaps more brutally, as that was a heck of a bloody hit. A bloody end for Homer Simpson. Anyway, looks like our orky friends are engaged, and we are going to help them out. There we go. Man-eaters look like Golgi's man-eaters look like they're having some fun fighting enemy infantry. I guess the giant slayers and whatever other types of units, whatever types of slayer units are here in the blob are going to be decent against our army. But, with the infantry of the orcs helping out, we should be pretty okay. Over in the background, the enemy grudge throwers are firing away at us, and funnily enough, the grudge throwers actually waited. They completely ignored the orcs and started firing upon us, even though we weren't in range. In fact, they were moving forward, ignoring all the fragile orc infantry to target specifically ours. Now, I don't know whether the AI normally would do that sort of thing, but it was suspicious that the grudge throwers would do that, because it feels like they should have gone for the orcs instead, as they were going to be more fragile. Anyway, the first enemy army is pretty much destroyed, but the enemy is moving some reinforcements in. 3 units of gyrocopters, and thus we're going to sort of reposition our range units. The lead belchers from here, and then the all 5 of the units of ogre pistols are going to move this way, and hopefully we'll be able to bring down those gyrocopters. There we go. And lead belchers, it's time to fire. These guys are really close together, man. All those things should be colliding in the air. Well, they'll be colliding with cannon fire and ogre pistol fire. They will, however, manage to drop their bombs on the organ gunners there, but it doesn't look like it did too much in the way of damage. And they do keep dropping out of the sky. Yeah, I wonder how this battle would have gone if we had used our previous army, which had very little in the way of anti-air. I mean, I suppose we were using the Rugblood's Armored Orcs and the Long-Drong Slayer Pirates at that point to help us out with the anti-air a little bit, but admittedly, or at the same time, it wasn't a lot of that stuff, and neither of those did a crazy amount of damage in range. Anyway, with the gyrocopters having failed in their duty, we've also stopped the Grudge Throwers from firing at last, and a few units have managed to rally, and we gotta make them pay for that. The Bruiser will lead one of the units of Golgi's Man-Eaters into this poor unit of Quarrelers, who did rally after doing a little bit of damage to our Russian Man-Eater. The Man-Eater did drop to about 50% of its HP, but we should be able to heal it up as soon as we get Gluttony, was it, up and running? That healing, army-bound healing ability? Anyway, enemies continue to run from us. But it looks like this main army is pretty much destroyed. These guys are shattered, and these dwarf warriors are likely to follow suit. A couple more hits from those ogre pistols, and whether they hit dwarf or orc hardly matters to us.
I thought I told you to stop munching on the gobos, you gits! You're fired! Ah, shut it, why don't ya? I've gone off goblins anyway. Horrible little pointy things. All right then. Let's see if these dwarves are iron instead.
Alrighty, here we go. We have a part 2, though it didn't quite happen as I expected it. I expected the orcs to turn on us directly while all of our units were fighting. That would have frankly been the ideal time to do it, but now it looks like we're playing both sides, but the game will allow the enemy to redeploy, essentially. So the orcs, or at least a big pile of orcs, are all the way back there, but they're not the only orcs, as more orcs appear out here as well, and immediately get into combat. Unfortunately, our units were separated from each other, and so this unit of Golgi's Man-Eaters attempts to move away, but too slow, and the enemy will charge them directly and force them into the fight. This was really unlucky that they were so close to the edge of the map, all things considered, as they were chasing the dwarfs off screen. Oh well, just gonna have to fight those orcs, I suppose. And hopefully we can manage to keep this one unit of Golgi's Man-Eaters alive. And it's one of the non-named ones, so let's just say they don't matter nearly as much as the named ones do. Anyway, we're sending basically all of our melee into this, while all of our ranged units, our lead belchers and our ogre man pistols, etc., will move in to help Ungrim, who did show up, but not as an antagonist and rather as an ally. So, yeah, didn't quite predict what was going to happen in this particular quest, but hey, I am having a lot of fun with it. More enemies to fight, and you gotta love it when you have variety within a single battle, right? Not just fighting a single faction. Just like in the map in general and fighting different factions all the time. And frankly, I've been very happy with the variety of foes in this campaign. We started fighting Imperials, we fought Cathans, we fought a lot of things. We need to fight a little bit more undead. And some lizards, and then I'll be happy. Completely happy, I mean. Anyway, in the meantime, the orcs and trolls are engaged in that brawl with all of our man-eaters, whether they be the Golgi's man-eaters or the others that have now arrived. There's those great weapon guys, and the Iron Fists are in here as well. And by the looks of it, the orcs are having a pretty bad time with this second army. Maybe it wasn't such a good thing for them to have shown up here where we were chasing the other army. In the meantime, the second enemy army is moving on in. Ungrim has his battle lines ready, though there's there's dropping some frames again. Or was that actually a hiccup from the game, because it was kind of weird. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. As long as it doesn't crash, it doesn't matter, I should say. Yeah. Could have brought more Slayers there, Ungrim. But oh well. Let's start with those lead belchers. The enemy have those black orcs with shields moving up. And ooh, I love those shields of theirs, though. They look fantastic. Although I'm not expecting them to stop too much in the way of the lead belcher fire, so that unit of Black Orcs with shields is just about done for, and we will switch fire to the Rogue Idol, who is currently taking hits from our Ogres with man-eaters with Ogre pistols, and will now take additional fire from the lead belchers as well. That is, however, a Rogue Idol. These things take a lot of effort to bring down, even with range. Recently in the Orion campaign, there was an army of ours. I believe it was the Wildwood Ranger army. Wait, no, it was the Eternal Guard army that fought just nothing but rogue idols and giants. 40 giants and rogue idols. It was insane, and that's with the Eternal Guard. And that's what it reminded me of. But I do love fighting the rogue idols. They're so entertaining with their animations. Anyway, looks like Ogre is doing pretty well with our support here. I mean, go figure. The rest of our melee troops are still trying to make it to the fray. Unfortunately, they move fast enough to hopefully eventually close the distance. Our man-eaters with Ogre pistols are continuing to provide fire support, but there's no need to engage in melee while the Slayers do a little work. Let them hold back the tide a little bit, and if the occasional lead belcher cannonball or the occasional ogre man pistol, man-eater ogre pistol shot hits a slayer or two, I suppose it won't matter too much to us. Besides, we do want to preserve our HP here as well, since we want to keep moving right after the fight. Oh, damn, I'm kind of impressed with the Doomseekers destroying those Black Orcs there. They're fighting pretty well. There we go, there's the spin to win. That's what I was waiting for. Alright, it looks like that unit of Black Orcs is done. The regular Orc boys, now with spears, will book it on out of there. The enemy is still fighting on the right flank, but by the looks of it, probably not for much longer, as Golgi and his, I don't know, meat marauders arrive on the field. There we go. They took a long time to run here, but it's a buffet, and they're going to trample those they can and eat those that are, I don't know, eat them all. With that, the battle ends. A really fun quest battle. I really enjoyed that one, and we got the item now. It's not anything crazy, but it's got decent rewards. Alright, there we go. Really fun. I love those two-parter quests. They're something of a rarity, but when they happen, I'm always very happy and pleasantly surprised. I don't know how much in the way of losses we suffered, but it was probably pretty darn minimal by the looks of our unit's numbers. A little bit disappointed we didn't get to fight Ogre himself to get that free defeat trait, as some quests will give you free defeat traits by virtue of you being able to fight the lords there, but oh well, what can you do? Looks like the Moss Steel Company at 18k might have gotten the most damage, though the Golg's Gut Guzzlers are pretty close at 15 to 16k as well. Great job to them. Alright, we are going to, once again, it doesn't matter. Minimal money, minimal replenishment. I guess we're about to auto-resolve, so it's so minimal. Alright, take the money. Alright, and there we go. We have Casualty Punishment Trait, Vigor Loss Reduction, the big ol' regen from BUGMAN'S XXXXXX. Hope YouTube doesn't demonetize me for being confused about what I'm saying. But anyway, Golgi, you're good now. And that's the only quest you got, but that's fine. You are now going to move to Mingzhu. I don't know whether we'll bother keeping it, but for now, take it. Really, it's the iron we want, but anyway. And it would allow us to complete the contract sooner. It's not like we really need it. You know, give it to the client, screw it. And you still have movement this way, and I think I'd rather preserve the movement and try to get to the iron, which is going to be like 10 times more valuable. I don't know whether we... Yeah, it looks like Jiao Ming is headed over there. I wonder if we could trade him for it. Guess I should have kept one of these places. But oh well, we'll see. I guess we don't necessarily have to have every bit of iron on the map, though it would be nice. Anyway, Magic Feast of Smash Gooda, you are good, you're rating. Scruck Eyeballa, we're certainly running out of time, but I would like to end this turn so I can do the admin that remains between the episodes. Like move the tech thieves around next time and stuff. Ooh, we gotta double check on more heroes though, that's for certain. Firebellies, we're waiting for the Firemouth. Huh. It used to be level 16, now it's level 15 because the camp is off the map. Oh, that's annoying. I thought that that would persist, but I guess since it's off the map, we don't get the bonus levels. Oh, that's yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Ooh, also Rug, new camp. They lots of leveling to do. Golgi, you should have like 1 billion meat, yeah. Which camp is this? This is Yeti Peak camp. Yes, yes, yes. Golgi to Yeti Peak camp, you will transfer now 3k. I'm just going to assume that that's sufficient. Yeti Peak camp, let's level you up. We got better camping, we got lovely jubbly. We will go into Master of Meat next, trying to get to Renowned and Feared. Let's upgrade you to tier 5. I mean, we're just upgrading everything. And whatever meat is left over we can use for the next set of upgrades. Lovely. Alright. And the tech is going decently well. Gotta try to get it to 400. I'm hoping that that'll put these to 1 permanently. But then obviously after we're done Butcher's Apron, we'll get a couple more Butchers on Field, and then we'll go straight for Ogre Throng for that camp limit. Really, really need that. Back to the hero thing that we were looking at. Oh, actually, wait. I would like to see when the Firemouth is up and running next turn. I take it that means that the recruit rank is +7 for Firebellies only in this particular location, so we'll have to run them over, but that's fine. Alright, what do we have here? Ooh, I do like the tough one. Yes. Alright, Bruisers. I actually don't like any of these, but we also don't have capacities. Hunters, we got a flabby one. Huh. Actually, here's the question. Do we even put Hunters in the single entity army? Because I've figured... Yeah, you know what? Maybe we don't need Hunters there. Because they're kind of lackluster in terms of their range damage. We'd have 4 Butchers, and then we'd use Bruisers and Iron Bellies as sort of the melee mincer, and putting Hunters on foot without their stone horns seems like it would be a waste of time. Yeah. And here's another thing. If Hunters were on the field, I feel like I'd be too tempted to use all of their Saber Tusk summoning abilities, so then the army would suddenly have 1 billion Saber Tusks. Although on the other hand, the Saber Tusks would really help this army in chasing enemies down, which the other units wouldn't have. I mean, maybe we get a few Hunters. But then we wouldn't need the Flabby one, because the Flabby is great for when they're on the stone horns, but not so great otherwise. So I'm just going to ignore that then, at least for now. You guys let me know your thoughts on that and how the single entity army led sort of by Bragg should look. I do believe that's all that we gotta do this turn, unless I'm mistaken. And I'd like to end the turn. Yeah, there's buildings to build, but I'll just skip a turn and build them over the course of the next turn. Valkia. Oh, I wonder if she's gonna be too afraid to take Shrine of Ladriel because, A, it's sacked and whatever. All good. Pretty sure we'll kill off Nagaroth and Valkia all at once. Skip. Here on building upgrade available damage building and turn. I guess the moment of truth will be another bulwark of the gate. I did want that. But anyway, will Sigvald decide to randomly declare war on us and attack the Nobler army while they're damaged? And if not, we'll get them the heck out of there. Alright, I see somebody's army got either destroyed or ran away. The Silostra would like to trade with us. Likes the war against the Legion of the Gore Queen, huh? But I kind of want to fight undead. It would be fun. I'll think about it. Once again, you kind of have to pick a grand alliance to sort of have dealings with, because you can't trade with both sort of grand alliances. But anyway, Treasury deploy. What is this? Mission aborted. Oh, I guess that guy died. Limian Sisterhood is destroyed. There's that Butcher capacity increase. And capture the Blasted Expanse. Huh. The game keeps pushing us towards the Darklands. First it was constantly pushing us towards Lorelorn in that area, but now that that's not doing that anymore, it's doing this. And oh man, Tretch is back. Why do I say oh man? Because I would have really liked to get Mount Silver Spear, but it looks like he'll... Well, actually, he can't reach Crookback Mountain by the looks of it. Also... Ah, there was an army here, and now it's not here. There's Grimgor. I have to sort of stick around and stay near him. We got, what? One more turn. Ooh. We have to knock his army out lest he goes to Titan Notch. But on the bright side, I do believe Recruiter Gagbat, funny name, Recruiter Gagbat is done recruiting. So Skruck Eyeballa, you are going to swap units now. I don't know why I kept you in camp stance, but whatever. Alright, swap units like so. And there we go. Do we need a hunter in here? Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll keep the hunter in here. Just for the increased mobility, because it feels wrong for the... Yeah, you know what? Maybe we don't need 5 Iron Blasters. Do this, but I think we're gonna get that flabby hunter in here after all. So hunter... the hunter can travel with the crushers and stuff. Take 1 Iron Blaster back. Like so. And then Skruck, you're probably gonna have to start from this direction. Oh wow, these guys took Turtle Gate and they lost Bloodwind Keep. Yeah, but we're going to have to start working on them from this direction. Mostly to destroy them. Though, on the other hand, I'm not super concerned about them taking out Fortress of Ice Camp. Look at that. Alright, you know what? Recruiter Gagbat, stay here. Maybe I'll recruit some more stuff with you. And Skruck, you're gonna hit the Volary next turn, so get into Raiden stance. And oh, I guess we won't occupy it, so we'll just raise it or sack it or whatever. So go here. And we'll need to get a settlement going as soon as possible to get the Regiment of Renown in here, which will make it 20 out of 20. Also, we'll need to activate all this stuff, but once we have a little bit more cash. Anyway, folks, with that, we are pretty much out of time, and I take it you can't reach this? Oh, you can just reach it. Oh, fantastic. More iron. Yes. I was not expecting him to. It might be at the cost of losing Wei Jin, but I'd frankly rather have the iron than the spices. Occupy for ourselves. Beautiful. All right. And we are very nearly done. Diplomatic relations with Grand Cathay. We're very nearly done this contract and we'll be able to move on to next, but that'll have to wait until next episode. So, I'm calling it here. We'll continue all of these wars in the Darklands next time, and, well, start on and or continue the wars that we've begun here. It looks like another fight for Magic Feaster Targog, as he will face off against this Khornate force. And I really do think that Khorne is a great choice to fight, in particular because the... I wonder if you'll still have room to chase this guy down. We'll see. In particular because... One second. Join all you together. And then delete you. In particular because obviously Skulltaker is not really going to be fighting Khorne. He'll be fighting all the factions that aren't Khorne, so it would be nice for us to fight Khorne. So we'll do that quite a bit over the next episode. Stay tuned for more Ogres. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. Unfortunately, as the campaign does grow older, the engagement does drop, so we'll probably be returning to half-hour episodes soon, but who knows? We'll keep it going for as long as we can. All glory to the algorithm. Ogre Throng up next, and thanks for watching.